It's time for some more unique must-see everyday carry gear, and some of the items here you're going to love and some, well, not so much. Jamie will be joining me a little later to help with some testing, and as always I'll include links to the products featured in the description below. Okay, first up we have the Keyport Pivot 2, and whilst there are a few of this type of key carry solution around now, this one sets itself apart by having available a range of optional inserts which sit alongside your keys, and also a range of modules which attach to the outside of the keyport to create a more complete everyday carry. Okay, first let's have a look at the basic Pivot 2. This turns jangly keys and accessories on a keyring into a quiet and compact Swiss Army knife style of key carry. It consists of two metal sides with a rubberized joining piece and a keyring loop, and it also has a pin which is in two halves and screws together to hold the keys and the inserts in place, and it can be adjusted to hold up to a maximum of 8 keys. And in my testing you need a minimum of 4 keys and or tools in here to avoid the need to use spacers. Now the sides come in aluminium with a choice of colours, and there are also stainless steel and titanium options, and the price for the basic Pivot 2 starts at around $30, and with that you get this Keyport ID card included, which will help someone who might find the keys if you've lost them connect with the owner. And check out the website for the optional inserts, which include things like a surf tool, a double-ended flat bit screwdriver, a USB drive, and also this multi-tool here which gives you a bottle opener, wrench, cord cutter or package opener, and this large flathead screwdriver stroke pry bar. The optional modules include a simple faceplate, and there are lots of these to choose from, and also something more practical like this flashlight here. Now this is charged via USB-C and has a couple of light levels as well as a bright diffuse side light. And this particular module will set you back around $17, so I think the prices here are pretty reasonable. And there's also a belt clip module and a slip joint knife option, and that one is stackable so you can combine it with the other modules. There are also a few accessory options, of which this one, which is called a rush tool, can be removed without disassembling the pivot, and as well as the obligatory bottle opener we see here, also has this pin end which can be used to release these side modules, although any pointed tool would also do the job. Here is the pivot with a couple of keys and a couple of tool inserts, and with the flashlight and a faceplate. All in all, the quality seems very good, the price seems fine, and if those options give you what you need, then this could combine several of your everyday carry items into just one. Here is something you never thought you needed: a fatty pack. It looks like this, it unfolds like this, and attaches to a baseball cap like this, and that means your favorite headgear now includes a secret stash pocket. Now clearly you're not going to get much in here. A bit of emergency cash, or maybe some meds spring to mind, or perhaps a small flat tool, and in fact fatty packs supply a bottle opener which fits nicely in here. Also, you can hold a flat key using this bit of bungee cord which is built in, and you can loop that round your key, which can now be slid into place when the fatty pack is attached. I've also discovered another use for this. If you use a backpack and like me you hate flappy straps, then I found these do a great job of stopping the dangle. Overall it's well made and nicely branded, unless you're sensitive about your weight that is, and comes nicely packaged. In fact, the only thing I don't really like is the price, which comes in at $20 or £16. This is the brand new water bottle from LARQ, the PureVis 2, and as new water bottles go, this one is a bit special. Now, I've featured a few LARQ products over the last couple of years, and regular viewers will know I am a big fan of what they do, and I'm pleased to say that this content was created in partnership with LARQ, so a big thank you to them for sponsoring this video. Now, previously I featured the original PureVis bottle, which has an inbuilt UVC light source in the cap here, which eliminates over 99.9999% of biocontaminants, so microorganisms like E. coli, salmonella and viruses, which can be present in untreated or poorly treated water and can put you out of action for days. And I've also featured the LARQ filter water bottle, which incorporates a high performance filter tested to NSF standards, which removes heavy metals such as lead, as well as chlorine, pesticides and PFAs. So this one for safer drinking and this one for healthier drinking and also taste. And this has always been a dilemma because I want both of those things. I want to avoid consuming harmful chemicals, and I also want to use the bottle, particularly when traveling, when safe drinking water becomes more of a question mark. And that is exactly what the new LARQ PureVis 2 gives you, both technologies combined into the one drinking bottle, and that to me is a bit of a game changer. Now, there are two sizes available, 680ml and 1 litre. This is the 1 litre version, and they're made from stainless steel, and there are 4 colours to choose from. Now, recently I took this one away with me on a week's holiday with the family to Greece, where the message was to drink bottled water. But instead, I used this PureVis 2, which I filled up from the tap in our room, and I'm pleased to report there were no tummy troubles at all, and I saved a small fortune on resort-priced bottled water and also reduced my consumption of single-use plastic bottles, which is one of LARQ's main aims. Now, this charges via USB-C and is very simple to use. Press the switch on the top here and the contents then get blasted with UV light every couple of hours. And there's also an adventure mode activated with a double press, which results in more UVC exposure. And we also have LED lights on the top here to show the different modes and the battery status. Inside we have a UVC light source and a replaceable filter, and incidentally the UVC sterilisation also ensures there's no odour causing bacteria buildup, so this bottle self-cleans and you don't get that unpleasant smell when the bottle is left unwashed. And if all that wasn't enough, the bottle is double walled to keep the contents cold for up to 24 hours and hot for 12. Also, new for the PureVis 2 is being able to connect this to the LARQ app, and that provides customized hydration reminders and keeps track of your daily fluid consumption. And this will also integrate with the Apple Health ecosystem. Finally, we also have a convenient grab handle on here which can easily be removed, and a leak-proof lid which opens and closes with a satisfying click, revealing a raised mouthpiece for easy drinking. Now, it's hard to imagine a drinking bottle that is more capable than the LARQ PureVis 2, and if you want to find out more, then check out the link in the description down below. This sling bag from PACSAFE looks a bit old school to me and does in fact double up as what you might call a waist pack, or if you're from the 80s in the UK, a bum bag, or even worse, a fanny pack in the US. It costs £60 or $65, and it's made from a recycled water resistant 600D polyester, and it has a capacity of 2.5 litres, which is a pretty good size to keep your overflowing pockets empty and keep everything in one place. Nothing too exciting so far. Well, there's a clue in the name with PACSAFE gear, as their focus is more on keeping your gear safe from bag snatchers, pickpockets and opportunist thieves. And if you do have all your precious gear in here when out and about, then that could be a big deal. So inside we have the main compartment, which contains a key leash and just one internal pocket, which is RFID safe for your wallet and or cards, and there are no external pockets. And what we have here is a zip clip so that no one can sneakily unzip the bag when you're being jostled about on public transport. We also have a dual release security buckle that requires 2 hands and a bit of dexterity to open it, which should stop any opportunist thief from quickly releasing the buckle for you and grabbing the bag. Then we have a cut resistant strap used using a super tough Dyneema core to ensure the bag strap can't be slashed and the bag grabbed, as is often reported. Then finally we have something PACSAFE called Exomesh, and that is a metal wire cage in the main body of the bag to stop someone cutting into the bag with a sharp blade to get access to your contents. We did though want to put the security features of this bag to test, so let's see how it stands up to a determined Jamie.
Right, so we'll start off with the good old-fashioned utility knife. Try.
Your general thief wouldn't have lasted that long.
Heavy duty scissors.
They're really good scissors.
So, yeah, these are really good scissors. I don't think we should advertise these scissors. Right, so we'll start off with the utility knife. I'll cut away from John. Oh, wow, that's tough. And I've only gone through the outer thing and I'm just getting to the mesh now. So I'm starting to get into the bag now, but that would be quite difficult if you're wearing that. We still haven't got through the whole mesh yet. So we'll go back to my trusty knife.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to notice if someone's using this much force while you're wearing it, and I'm only just through now.
So knife hard to get through. The mesh does stop that. Certainly going to know it if it's on your back at the time. Same with the strap. If they're using a knife, they're going to struggle to get through that to the point where you'll know. But like anything, if you've got something a bit more heavy duty, obviously you will get through. We like pens on this channel, and Jamie has a new favourite with an interesting story, which is this one here. Now this came from the Linus Tech Tips YouTube channel, which Jamie watches relentlessly, and I'll link to it below. And LTT is one of the leading tech channels, and as part of their range of merchandise they went about creating the ultimate ratchet screwdriver. And when it came to the production of the screwdriver shaft, it seems that Linus was shafted by a supplier when they produced 100,000 screwdriver shafts that were not right, and unfortunately they'd already been paid for. So what do you do with 100,000 or 3 tons of useless screwdriver shafts? Well, you make them into pens, of course, and that is exactly what they did. And as it turns out, it's been a crazy success, with the first batch selling out straight away. The pen is a bolt action, which is great as you benefit from the fidget factor, which is smooth and addictive and also very annoying for all of those around you. There is minimal branding, just visible on the bolt action stud, which is nice, and it comes with a tough usable pocket clip and takes Parker G2 standard refills, of which there are lots of options to choose from. And we have this knurling for good grip, and it feels really nice in the hand and looks great. And perhaps the best feature of all is the price. This pen with premium credentials comes in at just $30, or in Jamie's case £36, which included shipping from Canada and tax. What you might call turning trash into treasure, or recycling at its best. This next item is one of Jamie's bright ideas, and it is actually something that I would never normally buy. What is it?
Right, so what we've got here is a Kalashnikov flick comb. So what's cool about this is the actual handle off their knife, but rather than having the flick knife, we've got a harmless metal comb. And what's cool about the comb is it's actually made from the same stonewash D2 steel that they make the knife from. It's got a sturdy pocket clip, we've got a safety mechanism, and that works quite nicely. So I asked Tiny Haynes, who are a friend of ours at the channel, to lend me this just for this video, and after a day or two of playing with it, I emailed them back saying, can you invoice me for it? I'm keeping it. So this is now mine, and on their reply they said that everyone in the office has got one, and this sound is pretty much the soundtrack of their entire office.
Cool.
And I can see why.
And as far as a comb goes, it's not what you call a fine tooth comb, is it?
No.
It's like a garden rake.
Yeah, I mean it works, but it's a bit tough on the old beard. I'll probably stick to my wooden comb, to be fair, but the comb is not the best part about this. It's just the fidget factor. The constant flicking in and out is just highly addictive, and the power when you flick it out.
Yeah, it does come out with a bit of force.
Yeah, and it's not cheap. It is £75, but it is exclusive to Heine, and it is quite unique, and it's possibly my favourite fidget toy at the moment. Right then, John, I've got another one for you. This is the Ranvoo Aice Light neck fan / air conditioning unit / heater for your neck.
Okay, this isn't the sort of thing I would imagine wearing.
You're going to love it. Right, now I'm going to use the app to control it, but you don't actually need an app. You can control it via the 3 buttons there. But if you do want to use the app, it's great. You don't need an account. You just download it, pair it, and off you go. And the controls are very simple.
Okay.
Now we're going to put it on cooling mode. We're going to turn the wind speed up to full. And now what you should find is the metal plates, which are on the inside of the fan, will start cooling down. And the fan will also help with a little bit of cooling. Now it does get very noisy.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm in a hurricane at the moment.
It does, but what I tend to do is pop it on for a couple of minutes. Wait till it gets really cool. Then you can flick it into silent mode and you can drop that wind speed right down. And then you barely notice it's even on.
Okay. I mean, I get the general idea. You've got the cooling plates, you've got your main blood vessels in your neck. So is it cooling the blood that circulates around the body? Is that the idea?
Yes. You've got points in your neck and in your wrists. So you'll know if you go to your fridge freezer and you get a bag of frozen peas and a hot day and you put them on the back of your neck, it cools you down.
Okay.
So the idea is that. And you've got 4-hour battery life. And I just found it's handy for working at home if I'm hot at my desk, rather than just a fan constantly blowing the same hot air around.
Okay. And you bought this with your own money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I bought this.
Obviously...
It's quite a new product. Put it on. For the first sort of half an hour, I wasn't sure about it. So I took it off, just carried on working, got hot, reached for it. And then, I've used it ever since. So the other part of this is heating mode.
Right. And it does change temperature really quickly, so it's gone pretty much straight away from cold to pretty hot.
I mean, it's summer at the minute, so not much use for heating mode unless you've got a stiff neck and you want some relief. But it goes all the way down to 16 degrees Celsius, all the way up to 50. And it's about £160.
Well, I guess it might be okay in the home, but I wouldn't be seen dead outside wearing this.
How was your lunch?
Embarrassing.
This might not look like it, but this is a wallet and it's part of the Zenlet 3 series and was funded on Kickstarter earlier in the year, raising just short of $250,000 with over 1,500 backers, and it's now available to purchase from their website. Now, on first handling, this thing oozes quality, which makes sense when you realise it is made in Taiwan. And initially, it's hard to know how to get into this without the telltale slots on the top and the side, without which you wouldn't know where to start. Now, this is the Pro Max version and is the top of the range and is in 2 halves. First half is where the credit cards are stored, and to access them you push down on the top just in front of the slot. The front then slides down and the cards fan out and they angle forwards a few degrees so you can select which one you want. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't work quite as well as you would expect, which is a bit of a shame. And as you can see, the bottom cards here are not separated, which makes the hidden card hard to grab. Now, there are 6 cards in here, and if I use 7, it just gets stuck. And that's a shame, because if you've spent £130 or $170 on this, the top of the range version I have here, you really want it to work flawlessly. The cash compartment is something you don't get on the lower cost version, and to access it you apply a force to the top half and hold the bottom half in place as if you're trying to slide the top backwards. It then clicks and springs open to reveal a silicone back panel with a slot in it to hold notes folded into thirds or quarters, and the base also has the same soft silicone covering, which is where the coins go. And when you close the lid it seems to tension the silicone in the base, and that holds the coins in place so they don't rattle, and that seems to work pretty well. Now this has one more trick up its sleeve, which is concealed contactless card storage. As you would expect with this being all metal, the cards in here are fully protected against RFID theft, and therefore they need to be removed for use. You can though remove the front panel using a fingernail, which is held in place magnetically, and now you have access to a space to install a contactless card for immediate use. This covering incidentally is made from Gorilla Glass. This one has a matte finish, but gloss is also available. There is also the option to have the contactless card storage on one side or both sides, ideal if you have a hotel room key card for example on one side and say a payment card on the other. And this is a feature I really like, and you would never know there was a card in here. You can also get a see-through glass panel, which is ideal for photo ID, and there's also a carbon fibre panel for a completely different look. So I have mixed views on this. I think it looks cool and the quality is evident, but it's also heavy. This weighs about 165 grams or 6 ounces, and as you can see it's bulky. Not what you would call pocket friendly at all. Plus the card mechanism doesn't work that well. The cash box does work fine, but it adds most of the bulk and the price is high. The slimmer version for card only users, which is half the thickness of this one, might be a better bet, and if so I would opt for the double contactless option, which in my view is the best feature. And that's it for this one, although I do have another must-see video right here if you want more. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to keep up to date with new content. And as always, thank you for watching.